In fact, yeah, I'm going to share with you bits and pieces I've gone through the last 10 years. I'm going to spare you the 2 decades before. My name is Gharib. During the last 10 years, I've got a few of the highlights that I'm sharing with you today. I've got arrested twice. And I had 2 accidents. They never told me, they never said no actually to drinking and then driving. They always said, don't drink and drive. Okay, I'm not going to be drinking and driving. And if you drink and then you drive, that's where the consequences cost a lot of money. See? I got bankrupt a few times. My first business got bankrupt once. I worked for the biggest multinationals, I guess, in the IT industry in the world. I founded 2 companies. Been to 96 countries, more than 600 cities, if I can count, a couple of 100 airports, and saved a little bit. All have started with this kid in a very small family, way below the mid-class society. We had to work, all of us, to afford minimums, let's say. I was somehow fan of music, so I went to study some music and so on and so forth. And then, of course, at the age of 16, I started to work with that music diploma, so at least I can afford some basics. I started teaching music so I can pay for some little bit more than the basics. Yeah, this is the bits of souvenirs we were talking about with Amin earlier. He's actually my classmate for 3 years. And then when I got my baccalaureate, so this is the point where I was about to go study abroad. I've got very kind of good marks in so many important maths and physics and so on and so forth. But that was in 2001, actually, in month of September, and wasn't that easy to get the visa at that time, especially for the kind of studies I was willing to go through, and then I got rejected. So that was the little stage in my life where I decided not to let any idiot sitting behind the desk take a decision in my behalf, and I subscribed in the nearest university to my place so I can avoid the transportation. I subscribed to avoid going into military service. And I bought a computer. There used to be a website called telecharger.com where you can download some courses about IT. I was self-educating myself, autodidact. Until then, I submitted my application to go for some certifications, got certified, started doing some bits and pieces of job right and left. And somehow, while joining big corporates, usually somehow apparently when they see a talent, they can take care of you, especially from the academic perspective, academic background. I got my first master's, I'm going to get my second master's, and then I'm struggling now with an MBA. And I'm even actually giving some lectures and some courses in some very, very, very big universities in Europe. I'm doing case studies and so on and so forth. To be honest with you, I do believe in education. I didn't believe at that time education system in my lovely country was worth it to the trial until maybe TBS came in, and then things started changing, and I reckon, guys, you're very, very brilliant. I can see you in so many places and I hear about you in so many conferences. So the first part of it. And the second part of it is that when I subscribed to the university, I got introduced to this organization. It's a very big organization for students all over the world, and so many girls, and so many parties, and so many stuff to do, and so on and so forth. So of course, yes, I joined for the sake of the fun. I don't know what good looks like anyways. And I did not even speak English at that time. I need to do it back. And I don't know even how I got those, to be honest with you. So some bits and pieces, start traveling a little bit, learning through life, through the conferences, through the events. And this is where I learned English, actually. I could at least speak with you guys. I'm sure I'm impressed with my accent, but still, I've got some basics. And fun part of it actually is that's when I discovered, for instance, I love traveling. Like everyone would love. Traveling was very expensive, was very challenging more than 10 years ago. So I started backpacking, which is the cheapest way, through this organization, and then so many things to see, so many things to learn. But at that time, you are doing stuff that you don't know what are they, but you're happy and you feel good about them. And then you keep doing and you keep doing and you keep doing. Until the chances came when I met somebody. I told him, well, listen, I love your job. I love the company you work for. And I want to join them. He said, well, listen, so many people love the company differently. So many people have an academic or certain background to join the company, but you need to have a knowledge and you need to have a uniqueness. And it was in our corporate world. It was a development community kind of job role. So I went to India to this conference, and then I decided, you know what? Well, there is so much to do in this country, and we're struggling with the poverty and kids in streets, etc. So we started a little program to educate kids in streets. And that was the story. I had to tell someone in an interview to join the biggest IT company in the world to do some corporate social responsibility job, which afterwards led me to the company to hire me for a marketing role that I have no bloody idea how it looks like. And then the company had to invest some money, for instance, so I can get some graduation, so I can learn some stuff. And then it didn't take me much, to be honest with you. I got a master's in 6 months, and that allows me actually to go into the ranking of the company, get promoted a couple of times, and good money, and so on and so forth. But again, there is somebody in the back of my head who was telling me, you've done great in traveling, you've done great in, let's say, defeating education, but how great are you? You're still working for somebody that is paying you, you're making money, sending it to Bill Gates, and that's it. So I decided to start a business. That was not the most difficult thing, as long as kind of paperwork, kind of responsibility from the beginning. So started this first business, and the first thing they tell you when you start a business, you have to know what you're doing. I don't know what I was doing. You need to plan things. I don't know how planning looks like. You need to make sure that the environment relies to your whatever strategies and plans and ambitions and goals. To be honest with you, no one of us at that age, at least I was 26, 27, would know about these. Yes, I thought, when I realize now, I thought I made some market analysis, I thought I made some strategies and ideas and so on and so forth, but to be honest with you, nothing, no even glimpse close to reality or to what I was supposed to have done. I started the business in 2008, in the most hit area in the world with the economic crisis. For the first year, I was working and, let's say, freelancing legally. And then I decided to quit the job and do my entrepreneurship, or leave the story, let's say. Somehow, everyone tells you you got to be ready for the first crash, because it's going to be difficult at the beginning and it's going to be challenging at the beginning. Wasn't the glimpse of a second any challenging whatsoever. It was very easy, it was very cool, making lots of money, traveling, backpacking, literally living the consultancy mission, let's say, from the most expensive hotel in the country, going to the most dodgy hostel. And I remember in one of the hostels in a very, very large jungle. As soon as we found the hostel, after, I don't know, crossing rivers and stuff and so on and so forth, I look at the guy and said, well, listen, is there any mice in the hostel? It was like $7 cost per night, that with his Asian accent. Here, no mice, snake ate all. He's like, can you bring back the mice, please? At least I know I'm not gonna get killed with those. And I literally, I landed in this hotel after being literally in the most expensive hotel in town. And the story kept going. Actually, I started another business, and then the first business got merged with another friend, and then got bankrupt. Something, yes, I was expecting, let's say, for instance, because someone told me someday you will have difficulties. The story doesn't start with when you have a problem. The story starts when you started solving the problem. So for me, it was only a question of time until I realized what kind of solution I have to have. And my fight was against time. Was literally, would I kill time before time kills me or not? And that was the struggle. And that was the easiest thing to do. You just sit and do nice stuff, enjoy life, travel, until problems get sorted by their own. And trust me, they do get sorted by their own. Lots of changes happened in the country, so I had to travel back to Tunis, start a business thinking of me trying to contribute into the development of my beloved revolutionary people. And that was a difficult start. That was really very difficult start because I never worked in Tunis, almost never studied even in Tunis. All my stuff were abroad, so somehow I had to learn about the country, learn about the culture, or the business environment, let's say, and deliver. And that was really very, very, very difficult. And then I got bankrupt personally, the company got bankrupt. And literally I had to survive and struggle for few months, and during that period the only people you have in your life are definitely your family, the first support, moral support, and friends. And that's the key, that's very, very important. That's where I met with Hamza and then so many other people, and then just sitting with people and talking to people and sharing your struggle is what was healing. And there was a period of time where kind of we ran out of cash flow, so I had to sort out kind of, and it was a chicken and egg story. So basically, you need money to bring partners, but partners will come to you only when you have money. So, and those are the guys who have money anyways. So, kept in and out for about 6 to 9 months time until basically got sorted the goose, the chicken and the egg story, which one came first. And get back my feet into the ground, let's say, and I started working, etc., etc. That built in myself a person who not trying to defeat faith, not trying to defeat what someone sitting one day behind the desk would have decided in my behalf, but was more kind of a me helping myself, becoming me again. For instance, what I'm trying to say here is that you won't know what you want, you won't know yourself until you really are in a situation where you're only the source of a solution. You're only the person who can rely on to sort out a problem. Long story short, the company got sold. I didn't sell it. It got sold by its own again. That made me think of an early retirement plan, but I guess it's not going to happen anytime soon. And now, again, I'm thinking either to start another business or to maybe join another corporate so I can get some more ideas, get more inspired with some other people, get more connections, etc., etc. So, lesson learned the hard way. Me, from where I came, either in my country or even my country into the world, it was not even a challenge, for the single reason is that it's a matter of a state of mind. This is it. It's a state of mind, is thinking on long term, is having a goal, is not thinking of a challenge even itself. For instance, a challenge is a challenge when you think it's a challenge. Otherwise, it's just another step to get across and move on and move on and move on. This did help me, to be honest with you, as to be who I am today. I can speak several languages. I've been to a few countries. Still much longer list to go. And then definitely the most pleasant moment for me when they came and asked me about TED is that it's the first edition. I love first editions because first editions of small events, the small events have way more opportunity to become big. And this is it. This is where it starts for you guys, as students, as maybe future entrepreneurs, as a good experience for TED. Thank you very much for your time.